Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And before we're gonna start, I want to apologize a little bit because I was planning on doing different kind of tutorial today, but I've been a little bit sick, and I'm talking through my nose right now. And I figured today I'm just gonna put a slightly more basic tutorial rather than making it probably 20-minute talk, since I'm kind of talking funny right now. Anyways, in today's tutorial, I want to cover a difference between color correction and color grading. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because a lot of people actually don't really know the difference. I've noticed a lot of people talk online about, color correction, color grading, and it kind of looks like a lot of people don't really see the difference. And basically, I'm gonna demonstrate in this tutorial a real difference between. And to be more simple, the color correction is a very basic, a little bit of saturation, a proper balance, and you're pretty much good to go. Whether color grading is actually pretty destructive process to the image. So whenever you do color grading, you actually technically destroying the quality of the picture. So that is one of the main differences. Whether the color correction, you pretty much just adjust the basic needs of the image, you don't do any secondaries. You rarely do any kind of sky work and stuff like that. So I want to demonstrate right now the difference so you guys can see. And in this tutorial, we're going to be working with one of my material that I've shot a couple of weeks ago, actually about a month ago. Um, it was shot in Mexico in the garage, and we have a guy that's working on the upholstery. And this particular footage was actually shot on Blackmagic Pocket Camera RAW, and I'm gonna do first correction as a regular color correction, and then I'm gonna try to do a little bit of grading, and we can compare both, and hopefully you guys can understand better what's the difference between color correction and color grading. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna do color correction first, and this is not going to be so much even about the note structure or the parallel notes. It doesn't matter for this particular tutorial. I just want you guys to see the actual concept behind it. Okay, so color correction. As we can see, this footage is, pretty desaturated. It's log, it's a raw file. So the first thing we're going to do, and let's just do a basic, will increase saturation. Okay, that looks really good. What else? Step number 2. Well, I think for step number 2, since we're doing color correction, I kind of want to make this picture a little bit brighter. Just like this, kind of give it a little bit more contrast. And over here we can see that we still have a lot of space. So what can we do? I can just pull this thing down, just like that. And another thing I can do is actually adjust the white balance, which I'm going to create a new node. And again, the way I'm doing this thing for this tutorial really does not matter. Okay, so whatever you do first or second, it doesn't apply in this tutorial. So as we can see, it's not really properly color balanced. So I'm gonna come over here in the temperature, and I'm going to dial it slightly back, just like this. So all of our red, green, and blue pretty much lined up. Obviously, it's not the most accurate way of doing it. I'm just showing for the sake of tutorial. Okay, so let's call it a day. Let's say that color correction is done. So let's compare it before and after. So this was our color correction. As we can see, the footage is clean. There's no crazy looks going on. There's, nothing funky. It just looks like a normal footage you see probably on television or commercials. Okay, so that was our color correction. Let's do color grading. Again, for the difference of this, It doesn't matter which steps I'm doing first. This is just example to see in between. Okay, so we're gonna do color grading. Just for example, let me do the same step. I'm gonna increase saturation. I'm gonna crank up maybe a little bit of exposure again, and maybe I want to do some creative look. So for example, as I was showing in my older previous tutorials, let's let's make it even more so you guys can see the difference. Let's crash blacks like this. Let's pull a little bit on the contrast. Okay, let's select blue channel. Let's pull it down. Let's make it like this. We'll create another node, and for the sake of demonstration, I'm just gonna do it like that. Okay, like this. Okay, I'm going too quick. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just example. By the way, the system may be lagging slightly a little bit. I'm transferring 1 terabyte in the background as we speak. Okay, so we're gonna do like this. Okay, as I was showing before, we're gonna make it kind of contrasty. I can make this area a little brighter, you know, and pretty much we can go on and go on. And for example, I'm sort of gonna come back to the previous tutorial, one of the very first tutorials I did on color grading. We can select this area over here. You know, we can increase the brightness of it, and we can compensate by giving it a little more saturation. So basically, here is our color grading. And let me do full screen for you. I'm going to move the scopes. They really irrelevant in this tutorial. So let's check it out. Before and after. As we can see, there's a lot of things going on. Now, if we're going to apply the same, the color correction like I did at the beginning, you can see a very huge difference. Now, for example, let me select this, and I kind of want to show you guys the difference between them two. Okay, so as you can see, actually, let's do it like this. On the left, you have color correction. Okay, everything looks normal. His skin is normal. You know, the contrast, it looks fine and decent. And on the right, you have color graded image. We crushed blacks. The colors are slightly off. You know, we have this weird table now showing. So basically that is the main difference. Whenever you do color correction is usually a very simple process. But color grading requires a lot of work in many cases. And if we're talking about, for example, commercials, music videos, there's a lot of secondaries in the color grading. And by secondaries, I'm talking about a lot of skin work, a lot of eye work, making the eyes pop a little bit more, a lot of changing one color into another one. And basically, I'm doing this tutorial so you guys can know the difference in the future, and the color correction is not the same thing like color grading. Okay, hopefully this tutorial was very helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care.